So if you're getting started with Terraform, you are absolutely going to hit this wall. You've got all this infrastructure that's already running, and you just want to connect to it, right? How do you do that without having to rewrite everything from scratch? Well, the answer is one of Terraform's most powerful and honestly most important features, data sources. So let's break down exactly what they are and, crucially, how you can use them safely.
If you're new to Terraform, this question is pretty much a rite of passage. You're looking at your big, complex cloud environment, and you're just thinking, wait, do I really have to code all of this from the ground up just to add one new server? It's a completely fair question, and trust me, it's a super common point of confusion.
All right, we're going to clear this all up right now. We'll kick things off with that big question. Then, we're going to dive into the absolute core difference between a resource and a data source. After that, we'll look at a really practical example. And maybe most importantly, I'm going to show you how you can experiment with all of this without any fear of breaking anything. Sound good?
Okay, let's tackle that big question head on. The answer? It's a loud and clear no. You absolutely do not have to recreate your entire world in Terraform just to start using it. Not at all.
The solution is actually built right into the heart of Terraform. It has this incredible ability to talk to your cloud environment in a totally passive way. It can just read information about things that are already there without trying to manage them, create them, or, delete them. This is the absolute key to bringing Terraform into an environment that's already up and running.
And this whole read-only thing is made possible by a really core concept, the difference between a resource and a data source. Honestly, understanding this distinction is everything. It's really just the difference between building something new versus just looking something up.
So what is a data source? Officially? Well, it's a special block in your Terraform code. Its one and only job is to act like a search query, to go out and fetch information from your cloud provider about stuff that you don't directly manage. Things that might have been created by hand, or by a teammate, or by some other automated process entirely.
Here's probably the best way to think about it. A standard resource block, that's like building a brand new house. You give Terraform the blueprints, you tell it what you want, and you say, go build this thing. But a data source, on the other hand, is like looking up the address of a house that's already built. The house is there. You just need its details. The street name, the zip code, what color it is. You're not building anything new, you're just gathering information. That house analogy is a great way to picture it, right? So now let's take that idea and see what it actually looks like in a real-world practical example. So when would you actually use this? Oh, constantly. Let's say your company already has a standard network, a VPC, that everybody has to use. You don't want to create a new one, you just want to launch your new server inside of that one. You'd use a data source to look it up. Same thing for referencing a specific subnet that was already set up for you. And a really common one is looking up the latest Amazon machine image, or AMI. This way, your code is always using the most up-to-date, secure-based image, and you never have to go manually find and copy-paste a new ID. It's a total game changer.
And this brings us to what is maybe the most important point for anyone new to this concept. It's the one thing that should give you total confidence to just dive in and try it out, the read-only guarantee. I want this to really sink in. By their very design, data sources are read-only, period. Now, the implication of this is just huge. Because they only read information, they can never modify, change, or delete any of your existing stuff. When you run a Terraform plan, a data source will never ever propose a scary or destructive change. It's just a passive lookup. What does this mean for you? It means you can write data source blocks and run plan all day long with zero risk. It's the perfect, safest way to learn and explore.
So look, if you only take away one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this simple, powerful idea. Data sources let Terraform use what already exists, and they let you do it safely. They're the bridge between the new world that Terraform is building and the world that was already there.
So now, with data sources in your toolbox, you literally have the power to connect your new infrastructure to anything that's already running in your environment. The question isn't, can you do it anymore? The question is, what are you going to connect first?